Good morning, dear viewers. Today I'll be flying out of YVR Vancouver International Airport, one of my favorite airports in North America, and I'll show you why in a little bit. We'll be taking Lufthansa 747-400 from here to Frankfurt in their business class. Our flight of 12 hours will take us across 5,010 miles of Canadian tundra and the Northern Atlantic down into central Germany. Vancouver itself has become quite a tourist destination ever since the 2010 Olympics. With the airport being the first destination of many incoming visitors, a lot of time and money has been spent into its gentrification, and it clearly shows. There is natural light and impeccably cleaned carpets everywhere. Whether landside or airside, there is always something interesting in each area of this building. From contemporary art installations from local artists to a full-blown creek running down the middle of the central atrium, this airport is definitely a destination in its own. Fun fact, this terminal has been consistently ranked as the best airport to sleep in, just FYI in case you need to bum it somewhere for the night. Oh, did I mention from the Vancouver Aquarium there's an aquarium, complete with human scuba divers and not so human fish. Security was straightforward and easy, with no line for priority lanes, and even if you don't have priority access, check-in here usually never takes longer than 15 minutes. And right after the security area is the entrance to the Maple Leaf Lounge. Now, Maple Leaf Lounges are Air Canada's, but Lufthansa along with all other Star Alliance members are operating out of YVR use it, so it can get quite cozy in here. This particular lounge is one of the newly renovated ones, and it's objectively beautiful. We'll get to the lounge itself later, but first food because I'm hungry and because food. The buffet has many options, a lot of which were Asian as Vancouver is predominantly a hub to Asian destinations. The food itself was all prepared fresh, with kitchen staff coming out regularly to restock the buffet. There was also a chef station offering spicy shrimp linguine. Not spicy enough in my personal opinion, but very fresh and flavorful nonetheless. There's enough here to leave everybody happy and nobody wanting. And right across from the dining area is the bar area, with bartenders serving up everything alcoholic and otherwise. I ordered an Air Canada signature cocktail, which has not only whiskey but also maple syrup in it, as if the alcohol in itself wasn't enough to give you a pancreatic condition, but who am I kidding, was fucking fantastic with the linguine. Meal finished, let's have a look around at the lounge itself, shall we? The ambiance is one of sophistication, with clean, modern designs and centerpiece lighting fixtures. The prolific use of various woods affirm that this place is very much Air Canada. There was an upstairs section with more seating, but for whatever reason it was not open. There is a quiet area, however, to the side with loungers and a fantastic view of the tarmac and today's ride. Now, she and we share a birth year, but whereas I came out of puberty not too long ago, she has reached the end of her life and will undergo extensive plastic surgery to be metamorphosized into a freighter or be gutted for parts, probably in Mexico if it's the latter. You know, it's funny how we assign planes a gender and a pronoun. It humanizes them and makes it quite sentimental thinking about their fate. Well, let's go inside of her. My seat for today is 84A, and that is not in the back but rather upstairs in the upstairs business class section laid out in a 2-2 configuration. Now, these aren't Lufthansa's newest business class seats, these are the second newest, but that doesn't make much of a difference as they don't change many things when they update their seats. This was, however, a window seat, so I did have to parkour over my neighbor's legs if I wanted to get into the aisle. Unique thing to row 84 is that there are no seats directly in front of you. Instead, you get a console, because in front of that are the emergency exit doors. The flight attendants use this area to stage drink and meal services. So if occasional awkward eye contact is your thing, you should definitely sit here. Pre-flight drinks were given out, so let's take this opportunity to check out the seats further. Now, in front of you is this little cubby hole in which you will find a large bottle of water and the Amenity Kit. We'll get into this later. Directly in front of you is the Inflight Entertainment screen, and on your left is this gigantic shelf. On newer 747s and the A380, this space would be taken up by large cubby bins, but on this older plane, you get a massive shelf. Not complaining though, this was perfect for keeping all of my things within easy reach. Between the shelf and the seat and this cubbyhole lives the Bose on-ear noise-canceling headphones. These are tethered to the seat, and I don't believe they were cleaned after the flight out, so I didn't wear them this time. From experience though, I can say they're pretty good. Right next to that is this armrest, which can be lowered to make sleeping a little bit more comfortable in bed mode. Over on the other side between you and the person next to you, you find two universal power outlets. On top of that, a drinks tray, seat controls, and underneath this little flap here, a table and the remote control. Sea tour over, we were done taxiing and have taken off. Now, departing north out of Vancouver provides some of the most beautiful scenery of the sea, islands, fjords, and mountains. I don't know if it comes across on your screens, hopefully it does because I filmed all of this in 4K and not for nothing, but on a good day like today, these views are absolutely fantastic. Shortly after the seatbelt sign was turned off, the drink service started, accompanied with warm nuts. Let's have a closer look at the menu, available in English, German, and Quebecoian. Choices made, it's time to cue the music and start the food. The first course was a roast duck breast. They were a little bit dry but otherwise flavorful. The accompanying relish and lentil salad, however, were delicious. Second course, a garden salad with pistachio and lemon dressing, tasted about as good as it looked. It looked mediocre. The main course, the tenderloin, was really good. It was tender and juicy and packed some really great flavor. Only problem was the provided knife was so slow it took 15 minutes to cut through this. I don't think they thought this one through with the butter knives. Maybe we'll try again next time. Lastly, you can't go wrong with dessert. The fruit was fresh and the cheesecake was a good balance between crust and cake, sweet and tart. Alright, so I may have forgot to show you the contents of the Amenity Kit on board, but it's not too late, let's just do that now. Here it is. Alright, let's try this thing out. So what's in here? Okay, alright, so here we have a pair of socks with a ribbon on it, eye shade, dental kit. Oh, let's try this out. There is a Maximum White toothpaste, as well as a coupon, a mint, and a okay looking toothbrush. What else? Oh, we have a package from L'Occitane. Let's see what's in here. There should be two things. Okay, so you have a comforting cream, whatever that is, and ultra rich lip balm. Anything else in here? Here are some covers for your earphones and some earplugs. And that's about it. All right, okay, well, intermission done. Let's get back to the video. Okay, switching back to voiceover, let's check out the Inflight Entertainment. Now, the screen isn't a touchscreen, instead you use this little nipple trackpad thing on the remote to control it. It's not the most intuitive or easy thing to use, but you get used to it after a while. Unconventional interface aside, the scope of the content available was impressive. From almost all newly released blockbusters to classics of every decade, there was enough choice to rival even Netflix, no joke. TV shows and documentaries were also plentiful, and there was even live tennis being streamed. Overall, the choice was comprehensive. No one's going bored on board this flight. With that out of the way, let's go check out the bathrooms. They're all pretty much the same in business class, with 1 upstairs and 3 downstairs, and this is what they look like. I visited the toilets a few times throughout the flight, and they weren't kept in the most pristine of conditions. On a few occasions, there was quite an amount of mystery liquid on the floor. It was a little bit Spartan in terms of amenities, with only this L'Occitane hand cream available, but it was well stocked in terms of tissues, paper towels, and toilet seat covers, so no complaints on that front. There was also a gigantic baby change station, so if you're traveling with a baby gorilla, you won't have any problems changing its diaper on this flight. There were paper cups provided, but I would highly advise against drinking the water out of the tap on an airplane. I wouldn't even use it to brush my teeth, just ask for bottled water. There is a full-length mirror on this side. There I am again looking like an idiot. And yeah, there's not much else in here. Let's just leave. Upon returning to my seat, a small box of pralines was waiting for me, and while it was still daylight outside, the cabin lights were dimmed so that passengers could get some rest. I decided to get some sleep before arriving in Germany the next morning, so I put the seat into bed mode. I'm not particularly tall, coming in at 181 centimeters, or for you imperialists, 1.21 times 10 to the power of negative 11 astronomical units, and I struggled a little bit to stretch all the way out, with my feet touching the base of the seat before my knees were completely straight. But I'm gonna stop being a brat right there and just be thankful that I can lay down on a 14-hour flight. I did wish, however, that we had individual air nozzles, as the cabin became quite hot in the middle of the night. With a few hours of good sleep under my belt, I woke up just as we were flying over Great Britain. And with the light of first dawn, breakfast was served. Everything on this plate was great, and the coffee and orange juice just kept coming. A little while later, the sun came up. I finished my breakfast. And we were crossing over the North Sea. As we approached Frankfurt for our landing, I thought I'd share my thoughts. Lufthansa is one of the few remaining airlines left in the world with a first-class product, and knowing that, it puts its business class into perspective. Perhaps the Germans take things very literally, because this flight was just that, all business. Everything was well designed and done just right, but not overdone. The service was fast, efficient, and polite, but the flight attendants did not come through the cabin regularly to check up on passengers and take requests. The food was great, but not amazing. It was sensible and did not try to incorporate adventurous flavors. The seat design has not changed much for 10 years, and in an industry with privacy and direct all access as a norm, it's a little dated. However, it is well designed, functional, and provided me with quite a few quality hours of sleep. But there was nothing exceptional about the entire experience. Everything was done just right, but not overdone. And there's nothing wrong with this business model. The product is sensibly priced, sensibly delivered, and it's just overall very sensible. But it did lack character. I felt that it could have been any country's flag carrier that I was traveling on. There wasn't anything distinctly German about it. But maybe that's exactly what is German about it, the practicality, the pragmatism, and the lack of panache. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Maybe you have your own, and maybe you will try Lufthansa out, or maybe you won't. Either way, I hope it was entertaining, or at the very least informative for you to watch this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.